So, welcome back to Fanservice. I'm telling you, it has been a complete mess up today. Technically wise, we are never going on vacation again, basically.
No.
Never again. You're not allowed to leave. We're not allowed to leave. But we're joined by Uber Goober Gaming, which, say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
My train went off because I watched this when it came out.
Yes.
This Uber Goober game. And I thought it was quite interesting. Why did you decide to make this movie, first and foremost?
Well, so I grew up a gamer, and I'm older than a lot. So in the 80s, when I was first learning to game, there was a lot of, that was kind of when the chick tracks were coming out and the gaming is bad, and and I had friends who had their rooms exorcised by priests because they had gaming stuff in them.
Really?
So, yes, it's true. And so I wanted to make a movie that kind of showed what gaming really was, where we interviewed gamers and we interviewed Christian and pagan, people to get their opinions, and people on the street to get their opinions, to see what gaming was all about, what the public perceptions were, what gamers really did, and so that's what started the whole thing.
I love that as a concept. I haven't seen the movie, but I grew up, my grandmother converted to a fundamentalist Baptist church when I was very small, because the Baptist church were too liberal. And so I got to see a lot of the movies that this is probably based on, where the Dungeons and Dragons movie, where he for some reason puts on a Superman cape and jumps off of his house, and all of the this is going to turn you into a Satanist child. You know that, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we did.
Didn't work. Sorry.
There are clips from Mazes and Monsters in here, which is a classic. And there are two people in the film who we interview who actually insisted on being in silhouette.
Really?
Yes.
So that they couldn't be identified by their jobs.
And
Wow.
there were people around me, they were like that afraid. And I was like,
Yes.
really?
It
I
was
guess
a weird time.
it
for those
must
of us
have
like,
been.
I'm a second generation geek as well. He's not, and it was a weird time for those of us that were old enough to be paying attention to that era.
Yeah, absolutely. And what? Well, I don't want to give away any spoilers or anything, but some of the people who come out the absolute creepiest are actually the people who critique gaming.
Really?
They come out far worse than any of the gamers.
Is it because they have the same sort of attitude towards gaming that movie reviewers have towards movies, which is, I will never make this thing, so I must destroy it?
There's some of that. There's again, I don't want to give too much away, but there's some people in here, for example, who are used to be gamers, and then they reformed. And
I like his little quotation.
Yeah.
and reformed.
It was-
But you can tell that they miss those days,
Yeah.
and they really want to talk about it. And then at the end they'll go, but that's bad. And so, again, you have to see it to.
So, having grown up in that culture and watching how things changed, what do you think caused the change where gaming became more not satanic and you're going to join a cult and die?
Well, there are only so many books you can burn, and
Oh, I don't know. There's always books.
and every time you burn them, somebody gets a royalty for it. So eventually, for example, I think they got bored and went to Pokemon for a while.
Oh, I remember that.
And then collectible card games, and then I think Harry Potter really distracted them. So I think they just kind of changed topics.
So someone just always has to have something to complain about, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So you've also brought an assortment of things that,
have.
did these come after the movie? Like, did you
They
make
did.
the movie first and decide, hey, you know
so,
what?
in fact, when I made the movie, I actually didn't tell anyone I was interviewing that I had any idea what gaming was.
Oh, really?
So
you faked it.
Including my camera operator. So nobody knew that I was a gamer throughout well, for the most part, unless I needed to tell them I was a gamer in order to get them to do the interview, because some of them would not do it if they didn't know I was a gamer. So then after this came out in 2004-ish, I think, I've been a gamer forever, and I decided, you know what, I want to sell these, but as long as I have booths at places like conventions, why not kind of put some of this other stuff I've been doing all my life into paper? So we started publishing the games that we've been playing, and that's led to all this stuff.
So tell us about some of these games. We're going to start at the steampunk end of things and work our way from steampunk to zombies, like you do.
Yes, and there will someday be a steampunk zombie book.
Of course there will.
It'll be called Unholy Steampunk, but we haven't done it yet. So, by the way, the motto of the company is games that begin with U, and you'll notice all of these games start with the letter U.
I was just noticing that.
So,
Universal,
See,
Urban, Uncharted.
Isn't that clever? So the first one is, so it's Uber RPG Steampunk. And there's a city for the book, a world for the book, a universal airship combat system, a scenario, and a LARP version.
A LARP version.
A LARP
Yes,
version.
we have some people that do like their LARPing.
Yes, yeah, and it's got some pictures. I think actually some pictures of people who may be in the studio, maybe. And then, and then we just recently also came out with a steampunk coloring book because why not?
Oh,
Isn't everything going to be brown and copper?
Well, it doesn't require a big palette of crayons, but yes.
Earthy tones, you're done.
Earthy tones, and you're good. And the idea, and what we wanted to do here was, we just wanted to make a game that was easy to play and focused more on the story than on mechanics. So like the game really has 3 pages of core rules, and the rest is character
Are you following
creation, world
GURPS, or-
building. Say again?
are you following something like GURPS or?
No, it's its own system.
Okay.
So it's a D6 system. If you can remember that a 5-6 is good, a 1 is bad, you've pretty much got the rules.
Okay.
So my question about the steampunk one is, with the rise of steampunk, have you played the other one?
Tephra?
Yeah.
Tephra?
How does this compare to Tephra?
So I know the guy who does Tephra, and we're both, kind of in the Austin, San Antonio region. And our systems are different. I think his is mostly D12.
I think so.
based.
Yeah.
And his is more formal, but he's got he actually had the time to go out and gather a crowd at all the local game stores, whereas I was locked in my little cave, typing over and over and over and over. So they're similar in kind of the fact that you can have it's steampunk plus possibly fantasy elements, elves and goblins and all that kind of
So
thing.
you can have steampunk dragons?
I do.
Oh, of course.
That would be awesome.
There is a steampunk dragon in the Universal Airship book. So yes.
I'm going to look at that while you guys
by
continue
all
talking.
means, go right ahead.
Because he is easily distracted.
I am. Shiny things.
Squirrel.
Squirrel,
So go
yeah,
ahead.
pretty much.
So what else have we got in addition
Okay,
to that? We have the Gods of the Aether?
So this is nowhere near done yet, but what we're doing is some of the characters from the steampunk game we're making into a graphic novel.
Okay.
So right
Wow.
now it's just we have 1 chapter's worth of draft done. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're
That's
the
true.
holder. I'm just the
She's our Vanna White
the
today.
talker. Yeah, so it's going to be a graphic novel. We hope sometime maybe by the end of 2015. And we're going to, once it gets far enough along, we're in about chapter 3 out of 20 right now. We're going to start putting it on the web, a page or 2 every week.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a...
It
maybe
works
a
for Phil,
Kickstarter.
for Phil Foglio with,
Yes.
yeah,
Which, quick
that's a good
question.
yeah.
Yes.
Who does your art? Because all of this art is actually pretty fantastic.
Well, so I have 3 artists, 2 mainly. One in the United States, his name is Bill. In fact, I've got Bill Bricker right here, and Miziel, who's, I don't exactly know how to pronounce his name because I'm only communicating to him through email because
Okay.
he's in Brazil. So I've never actually met him, but he does a lot of the anime-looking art, and Bill does a lot of the more standard-looking art.
Okay.
But they're both great artists, and pleasure to work with.
And
so.
isn't it, I love the fact that in this day and age, you can find people that are really interested in what you're interested in. You don't have to just find someone that's local, because is Bill anywhere close by?
No, Bill is east somewhere.
I
Near Ohio, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I did
Georgia?
I've got an Illustrated Geek cookbook coming up, and for a year we put up 1 poster per week. I have never actually met the artist in person. Sweetheart, we communicate 90% via email. Hi, Tom, by the way, in case you're watching. But yeah, I love the fact that we're in a world where you can do things like that and get just really fantastic looking art from the best possible artists instead of, hey, dude, does your brother know how to draw?
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why game design is on the rise is because the internet, DeviantArt, and all these things, you can connect with people all over the place and make really awesome products like these things.
Yep. Yeah, and like I said, he's in Brazil, so
Yeah.
someday I hope to go visit
How
him.
did
or
you
bring him up.
actually hook up with somebody in Brazil?
Found him on the internet.
Yeah, you can find anything on the internet.
Yeah, go
Brazilian.
looking for steampunk art, and you can find a ton of people.
So lead us into the Zombieland.
So
There's
then,
zombies.
so this is role playing and live action role playing, and then over here we got into Zombieland. So, sorry, you're the holder. So there are 2 basic ones. This is Undead States of America. The idea is it's a miniatures game, so you have to buy miniatures or make something representing miniatures, and you actually play a war on a 2-foot by 2-foot board. But it's not your standard like this one, escape from the city kind of thing. It's an actual war. So it plays a lot like World War Z.
Okay.
So you start off with I'm escaping the city, but I've got, each miniature represents 1,000 to 100,000 people.
Okay.
Or zombies, depending on what you're doing. So you're constantly trying to build your army, and you play it in a series, little mini scenario. So the first one's escape from the city. The second one, you're raiding a city or a military base for supplies. Another one, you're raiding another place, and then the last one is the final battle. The number of zombies get bigger and bigger and bigger. The board is deliberately small to give you that claustrophobic, I can't, even though I'm faster than the zombies, somehow I can never escape feel. And the zombies have the unique ability to just, whenever you line up here, they line up here, everything's going fine, and then zombies just start appearing. And so just when you think you're good, there's one single zombie behind you.
That's what zombies do. They like to just pop up in the most inopportune times.
Yes.
You know you would be so dead in a scenario like that.
No.
They take one look at you and be like,
guys
you
are all
tasty.
the
You
whole
have
team.
packed on some extra pounds for us.
You guys are my wall.
Oh, really?
Yes. You got to get through them.
You don't have to be faster than the zombie. You just have to be faster than you. All right, so anyway, so this is Undead States of America, and now this used to be 3 games: Undead States of America, Undead Universe, and Undead. What's the other one?
Did Undead Universe have undead aliens in it?
Undead Nations. It does.
Oh!
You can play. You can play. So it's zombies versus Napoleon, zombies versus Nazi zombies, and zombies in space.
Okay.
So you
Who
can
doesn't
go.
like zombies in
You can
space?
go all through history. It's got world maps, so you can play a global war, and it all plays out on these 2x2 boards. But it's a scenario that has relevance. Like, did I save the world or not? So, they all build to bigger things. Because I can't stand war games that have it's in this battle and you're done. I like it where this battle affects the next one and so forth and so on.
So what else have you got in the wonderful world of zombies there?
So we also have this, which is...
Are these card games?
This is the one you want to lift. You don't want to lift that one. These are my cards. So yeah, this is also Undead States of America, but it's a card game. So you put down cards in the shape of the United States. Well, so here are the cards. Here, these are the play ones. That one's the box one. Do whatever you want. All right, so you place down cards and they make the United States, and then as places get overrun with zombies, you flip them over so they have a happy, fun green side and an I'm on fire, ow that hurts side.
Okay.
Let's see if we can find some that kind of show that. There.
Oh.
Like for example, there's one right there.
So
that's the happy, fun side, and then as the zombies take over, you flip it over. And that's
Oh no, we're going to hell.
That one's the happy fun side because it's green and the water is blue. And then they're here now. The city's on fire, the earth is burnt, and that kind of thing. So you can actually track how the zombie war is going across the planet again.
Now you also have something interesting tucked in a book over there for us, don't you?
I do. Wait, one more zombie thing.
Okay.
So this is the zombie monologues, which is an actual novel. So, and the idea behind that is, in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, a psychiatrist figures out zombies still have their original thoughts and memories, they just can't get to them. So he puts a zombie in a lab, puts a probe in his head, figures out he can talk to him. Once he can talk to him, he's a psychiatrist. He wants them to feel good about their own lives, so he starts doing therapy. That kind of works. He decides they need a more social setting, puts a bunch of zombies in a room, hooks them all in series, and starts zombie group therapy. And you got to know zombie group therapy can't possibly end well.
No.
So it's all about the zombie apocalypse from the zombie point of view, interviewing the zombies.
I was just walking my dog and I got bit.
Yep, pretty much, yeah.
I hate
And
that
it goes
dog.
through all their psychological problems that they've developed since being a zombie and how they're mentally dealing with the fact they like to eat people. There's somebody in denial. There's
I'm
a
sick.
there's a couple in there who have to go through zombie couple therapy because why not? And then
Well, death already did them part. What more could you possibly have to put up with?
well, like one of them starts complaining that the other one doesn't want to eat with them anymore and goes off to hunt people on their own. He's like, well, she's lost an arm and she's not as effective. The psychiatrist is like, well, as we get, our bodies change, we have to adjust. So there are a lot of kind of little psychological quips. in
Okay.
there.
All right, so we've got about 2 minutes left. Let's see what's in this magic book.
So we also make props for LARPing. So careful when you open that so
Yes.
things don't fall out. But we also make props for LARPing. This is just an example. It's a book that those bottles are going to fall out.
Tilt it
I've
backwards.
got it.
Okay. So these they're little bottles with poison labels on them, and in some cases we'll fill them up with pretty colored liquid and we'll seal them shut if that's what people want.
So
But,
you weren't busy enough making games and movies and other things. You decided, hey, we're going to make props too.
Yeah. Whatever will bring people to the booth really is kind of our model there.
I find strippers work.
That's not legal at most conventions.
Yes.
If he has a zombie stripper promoting zombie stuff, people are going to stop.
Well, I don't have any strippers. I do, have some other people who work with me who are charismatic and bring people to the table more than me, but no strippers. Sorry. But so yeah, and then we're also we're starting to work on things like steampunk coins.
Ooh. It's very, very shiny. I'm afraid that this might actually...
It's probably too shiny to have any idea to what it is. But that's got a Zeppelin on one side and a steampunk mech on the other, because why not? If you can have steampunk airship fights, why not mechs?
Exactly.
Right.
Which is funny because later on we have an interview with the director of War of the Worlds Goliath, and they're steampunk mechs based on the tripod. So yeah,
Yes, nice.
it
Yeah.
works.
I love these. These have a good weight to them.
They do.
A lot of
They're-
times when
they
people are
are-
doing something that's supposed to be a coin, it'll feel like the pot metal it is. And you've managed to, I don't know, add some dirt or gravel in there.
It is solid brass.
Really?
So yes. it
Really?
is. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Really.
She's hiding it. So where can people catch up with more that you're doing over at Uber Goober Games?
So I have a www.ubergoobergames.com, steampunkrpg.com, undeadstatesofamerica.com. Except I kind of suck at web doing. My cousin does it. Web doing.
Web
Web
doing.
doing.
That's a new one.
That's what they're going to be calling in this future, kids.
Yeah, my cousin does it, and he does a really great job, but I do a terrible job of communicating what needs to happen. And also we'll be at Comic Palooza, Comic-Con Austin, Comic-Con San Antonio, Origins in Ohio.
Oh, nice.
And I think that's it.
Any
This year.
hardcore gamers out there that have never been to Origins, it is totally worth going to Ohio. And Columbus is just a beautiful city.
So thanks for
It
being
is.
on the show and sharing all of this awesome stuff. I loved the movie. I was so excited to be able to get you to come out here, and I didn't know you did all of this other stuff too.
Surprise!
So thanks for being on the show again, and stick around because we have a LARPing segment up next.
Outstanding.
Adventures in LARPing is up next.